Hey you, and welcome. In this video, we will continue writing our contact context with Firestore by putting edit and delete functionality on the Firestore now. So let's dive right into it. So let's start with edit functionality first. In order to make edit functionality go to Firestore, let's go to contact context. And up top in the interface, let's change the edit contact interface to return a promise, which will return a void. Like so, that's good. ID will now be a string. We're working with string IDs. Edit contact now is complaining because it needs to return a promise. That's the initial value. This is just a dummy function that will resolve itself. There we are. And if I scroll further down, the contact context provider is complaining because edit contact that we have implemented, it doesn't really satisfy the documentation anymore. So let's look at edit contact and let's change the ID to string in the param. Name is fine, description is fine, and in the return, let's just make it explicit where it will return a promise of void. And in order to satisfy that, we have to make this function async. Great. With that done, let's take away the set contact. Actually, we can just completely delete this, and let's take a look at how can we update document in Firestore. I'm looking at the Firestore documentation, and inside the add and manage data that we were looking at before, we are now back at add data, and up top in this documentation, there is a update document section, and that's where we can find out how do we update a document in Firestore. And all it is the same thing we've worked at before, where we provided the doc reference, and then update doc will make the request for us, and this is the code base for it. So I'll just copy paste this as is into my edit contact. There we are. And let's auto import update contact or update doc, sorry. Save that to auto indent, and let's make some changes. So this will be a contact ref. DB, we got that from our utils. Cities will be contacts. That's our collection name that we have been working with. And the ID will be passed down as a param of this function, which is ID right there. Next, we will call update doc with our contact ref. We have renamed it, so make sure you change that here as well. Let's take with this comment and the data that we have to provide. So now we can provide it the name, description, and remember one more thing we had changed up above was we were providing created at and updated at. We can provide that here as well. We will call updated at, and that way it will change the updated at timestamp whenever it gets updated last time. So that should be just fine. I'll go ahead and save it. So that's our edit contact function working just fine. Let me just split screen. I will open my simple browser and let's go to http://localhost 3000. Great. And now we can see that there's an error message on contact edit. So let's go over to that file, contactedit.tsx. And again, parse int goes away because this is a ID of string. And what else? If I save, I think we're good. All right, we're good. So let's go to John, or actually John doesn't really exist. Let's create a new contact, submit. Let's edit this contact, and oh, we're not getting the information that we need here. So contact edit is not really doing the thing that it needs to do. And I can see why that's not working. And the reason for that is because the form gets rendered before the default values can be passed down to it. And we have to put a failsafe where we return early. So if there is no contact returned by the server in time, just return null. That means no form should be rendered until there is a contact returned from the server. Otherwise, there's nothing to edit. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save it. And let's go edit John. And there we are. We can see that the form is filled out. Let's make changes to it and see if it reflects. So let's name the last name reflect, submit. And there we are. It is reflecting. So edit functionality is working. Let's work on delete functionality. So let's go back to contact context. And up top in the interface, same thing we did for others. We will change the delete functionality to say ID is a string. This will be a promise, and it will return void. Further down in delete contact, it should be a new promise return, which will resolve itself like so. Further down, where we have delete contact, let's change the ID to string, replace this, and then let's just copy paste the code from edit. And I think we should be fine. We got the reference here. Let's try to figure out how we can delete doc. So I'll auto import delete doc. There we are. And then I think we just need to pass a reference. We don't need to pass any object. This is a simple deletion. We do need to change the delete contact into an async function, and that should work. Save. All right, great. There is a problem. Yes, that's coming from contact details. We need to stop parsing int there, and that should work just fine. I could also do async function for handle delete and say await until the deletion is actually done and then navigate the user to the home page, which would be fine. So let's I think we're good here. I'm going to try and work with delete. So let's click on delete, and this contact should be gone. If I go into it, the contact is gone. Let's just give it a try in Firefox as well to make sure this is working just as we expect it to work. So let's go new, delete contact, submit. On the right side, I can see the contact came in, delete contact, and I'll just go ahead and delete it now. And there we are. It's gone. Perfect. I'll see you all in the next video.